As Bitcoin marches to new records, it's also gobbling up vast amounts of energy. The cryptocurrency uses almost 3 times the amount of energy Singapore uses annually. In fact, if Bitcoin miners were a nation, it would be in the top 30 consumers of electricity worldwide.
The way new Bitcoins are created is by solving a complex algorithmic problem. And the thing is that each time this algorithmic problem is solved and a Bitcoin is issued, the next algorithmic problem is a little bit more difficult, right? And requires a bit more computing power.
This means that over the years, profits from mining Bitcoin have shrunk.
We have 2 kinds of investors. First is investors who are putting their money into mining REITs. They invest in mining REITs. I think they need to be very cautious about the cost of mining versus the revenue generated from it. And then for the second one, investors who are buying cryptocurrency and hoping that the price will increase over time, I believe it has no direct relation to the cost of mining.
When it comes to mining for Bitcoin, several factors come into play. These include the price of Bitcoin, cost of electricity, transaction fees, as well as whether the hardware used is efficient or not.
For ourselves, we mine 1 Bitcoin a month, a couple of Ethereum. For our clients, it's a 2.5 Bitcoin and 100 plus to 200 Ethereum every single month. If the price of Bitcoin drops by 25%, it will tilt the scale and it will be unprofitable straight away. For Ethereum, if the price drops by 30%, it will immediately become unprofitable.
Despite the volatility and narrowing margins, Mining Rig Club has continued to see demand for its rigs. These are the computer systems used for mining Bitcoin. The team operates close to 1,000 rigs.
A lot of people are trying to get their rigs into countries that have much cheaper electricity. So even if the price drops by 50% and you save 50% in mining cost, you still make the same amount of money.
Bitcoin's massive energy needs also means that it leaves behind a huge carbon footprint. A single Bitcoin transaction has the same carbon footprint as almost 1.2 million Visa transactions or over 89,000 hours of watching YouTube.
Currently, they are using the proof of work concept, right, whereby they have to solve very difficult mathematical equations in order to get the reward of mining. But now there are some coins that have moved over to proof of stake mechanism. Proof of stake mechanism, you don't have to solve any equations at all. Basically, what you have to do is that you can mine based on the number of coins you have.
And of course, there are new technologies coming up. You look at the movement from proof of work to proof of stake. And then the last concept is sharding. So when you look at sharding actually is breaking up the Bitcoin or cryptocurrency network into smaller pieces. So this does not also put a lot of computational energy demand on the grid.
It isn't just new technology that's making the process more efficient. The use of more renewable energy could also lower the carbon footprint. And government regulation could help nudge this along.
I do not think that the government will implement a blanket rule to ban Bitcoin mining, but instead I really hope and encourage the government to look at it in a different perspective, to encourage the miners to adopt a greener ways to harvest energy to power the mining REITs. Right? One of the ways to power the mining REITs that's been done in Australia, Switzerland, even in China, is by using solar power. They have huge solar panels, huge energy harvesting facilities, but that comes at a cost. So the government can come in to subsidize the cost.
Cryptocurrency firms can actually be clustered around hydropower dams or solar installations. Actually, only 39% of energy that is required for the cryptocurrency industry comes from renewable power. So it is still it's very much an ethical question, right? I mean, are we actually using our resources, our natural resources and capital the right way in decarbonizing the world? And so does it make sense to actually push or place so much of an energy burden on a denomination that's not recognized by a lot of financial authorities yet?
You got to price the cost of electricity and carbon properly into those who are running Bitcoin mining rigs. I think about 70% of what I last heard of mining is done in China. Like if they push some kind of law that really prices carbon into the amount of energy that's being used for Bitcoin mining, I think that would radically reduce and also force a change in some of these ways of doing things. The problem has to be solved. Otherwise, cryptocurrency has no future.
Cryptocurrencies run on blockchain technology, so the challenge ahead is balancing the rise of such technology with making it more sustainable.
Blockchain technology will explode in the next 5 years because it's a very good technology to be used in a lot of different applications. I think in the future, the mining of Bitcoin will become greener and greener. Blockchain will be greener and greener.